Okay, guys, I'm going to show you now I'm going to show you two methods for doing the same question, okay? Just thought of it just this second. Two methods for doing the same question. You ready? Okay. You see the way I clearly know 3 points? Ever see that? See the way I clearly know 3 points, agreed? The points I know are -2, 0. The second point I know is 0, 24. And the third point I know is, what is it? 3, 0. Now, see this equation on top of the board? I'm going to rewrite that. I'm now going to write this equation as y. So I have two ways of doing this type of question. Y equals ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Now look at this. Let's see if this works out nicely. Okay. I'm going to start off with the easiest one I can use. Why is this the easiest one I can use? All the x values are 0, aren't they? Replace y with 24. Now what happens here? A times 0, B times 0, C times 0, and they're left with D. What's D then? D is 24. Okay, D has successfully been obtained. You happy enough with that? Sub in 0, sub in for the y value and sub in for the x value and see what happens. We all cool? Okay, now, next part. Let's see if we can get any further with this. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sub in another value. Which value will I sub in this time? Your choice. Sub in 3, 0. So the x value is 3, but the y value is 0, is it? Okay, let's find out what happens. Now, we could end up short a couple of variables, but we'll see what happens. I'm just going to try this out anyway, all right? So what do we have? A times 3 cubed, yeah? Plus b times 3 squared plus c times 3 plus 24. Is that right? And what do we get here? Anybody? What's that? 0 equals 27a plus what? Plus 3c plus 24. All right. Stop there. Try the next one now. I think we're going to be, my initial gut's telling me we're 1 point short, doesn't it? What does that mean? There's 4 variables and we only had 4 letters and we only had 3 points. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do it this way. Just to let you know, sometimes it is an option, but there's a reason why it might not work. I also have the more conventional way of doing it. Let's see if it works out. So replace 0 with y, and what do we put this time? A times -2 squared, yeah. B times -2. C times -2 plus 24. What do we get here? Minus 8a plus 4b minus 2c plus 24, right? Now, unfortunately, I'm one equation short, haven't I? How many letters do I not know? 1, 2, 3. How many equations do I have? 2. This was not a good choice. Do you understand? Just to explain that there's no other points I know on the graph, is there? I'd be guessing, wouldn't I? I'd be guessing what that is. So I can't guess. Method I just chose was not a good idea. Scrap it. Okay? There's obviously another way of doing this that we haven't thought of yet. Ah, I see what the issue is. The method just shows, yeah, we could do it if it wasn't a repeated. See the way it's a repeated root? And see the way in another example we would have got 3 different points to use. But in this example, we didn't, correct? We're stuck on 2 equations. So unfortunately for us, the method I just chose can't be used when it touches the axis. The method I needed 3 different points 4 different points to make that work. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to do it the way we learned before. Okay, and this is where most people sort of got a bit confused here. That's a repeated root. What does that mean? X equals minus 2 and another x equals. Transfer them across. It's an x plus 2 and another x plus 2. Agreed? What about this point over here? X equals 3. And then what's that? X minus 3 is the factor, yeah? There's your 3 factors, guys. Ready for this? Now we're going to multiply out these 3 factors. I'll multiply these 2 out first and I get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Then I'm going to multiply it by x minus 3. And what do I get this time? I'm going to get x cubed minus 3x squared. I'm going to get 4x squared. I'm going to get minus 12x. I'm going to get 4x. And I'm going to get minus 12. Then I'm going to combine them all together and I'm going to get x cubed. What's it? Minus plus 1x squared. A lot of you's got this far. And I mean a lot of you's got this far. Now here's what you need to do. See this graph, see this equation I just drew here? See that equation? There's a minus 8x. Oh, thank you for that. Sorry guys. Thanks for telling me. Minus 12 plus 4 is minus 8. Thank you. Now, what do we notice? This graph would hit the axis at minus 12. R1 doesn't hit it at minus 12. What does R1 do? It hits it at plus 24. How do you turn minus 12 into plus 24? You need to multiply the whole system by minus 2. So you get this full system here and you multiply it by minus 2. And long story short, A equals minus 2, B equals minus 2, C equals 16, and D equals. That's a quick way of doing it though, isn't it? It's much quicker than doing the ABC I attempted at the start of the question. So just be aware, there are 2 different ways of doing it if you have 4 points, but this way is faster and more efficient. All right? Grant. All right. Swimmer A swims to the left, making an angle of 55 degrees with the side of the lake as shown. Find the distance that A swims to reach the other sides. Okay. Find the distance. What I think it's looking for is it wants to find out how far is this green line here. Everybody see that green line? Okay. See this 100 line, yeah? Just going to bring it forward. Oh, I thought I was going to bring it forward. See the right angle triangle I have there? They're looking for the hypotenuse, and we know that the opposite is 100. Opposite and a hypotenuse, what function am I going to use? Sine 55 equals 100 divided by h. And then h is going to be what? Bring the h up. Bring the sine 55 down. And you should get 122 meters. Okay. Next question. Swimmer B swims to the right and travels 200 meters to reach the other side. Find the angle marked theta. So we have to find theta. Here's theta here. And once again, see this black line? I'm going to grab that black line. I'm going to bring it over. And we know that 100 is the opposite, isn't it? Opposite theta would be 100. The hypotenuse is 200. So we say that sine theta is 100 divided by 200. And how do you get an angle from that? Anybody? Sine inverse a half. And that angle is 30 degrees. A group of medical students in a certain university are studying the number of students on campus who began to show flu-like symptoms during the month of January. The population of students displaying symptoms can be modeled using the following formula. P of T is A, E, B, T, where A, B is the element of R, and T is the time in weeks since the beginning of the study. On the first day of the study, 4 students were displaying the flu symptoms. So, P is equal to A, E, B, T is 0. Why is T 0? Huh? It's at the start. And we know that the population is 4. Now, what is this in the calculator? E to the power 0, or anything to the power 0? 1. Hence, A equals 4. You need to show that you subbed in 0 and that you got the 4 from that. Is that okay? Now, part 2. And part 2 is not too bad either. What does it say after 7 weeks? So P, the formula for P now becomes 4 E B T. And after how many weeks? After 7 weeks, 23 students. P is 23. 4 E, and what's the T value now? 7. So 7B, right? What's the goal of our question? To find out what B is. How do I do that? Should I log both sides right now? Yeah or nay? Why am I not allowed to log both sides right this second? Because the 7B doesn't work on the 4, it only works on the E. So I'm not allowed to log just yet. Happens in a steps time. Divide by 4 and we get 23 over 4 and we get E to 7B. Now what do we do? We ln both sides, or any log of your choosing. What happens to the 7B? Huh? 7B goes to the front. And what's ln of E? 1. So it's 7B, isn't it? And then what happens here then? What's B on its own? ln 23 over 4 divided by 7. And what do we get there? B is 0.25. Even if you got that completely wrong, are you still okay to continue? Why are you okay to continue? It says it in the question. It gives you the right answers. So you're okay to continue. Next question. Your formula is now this. Where did I get this formula from? Where did I get that formula from, lads? From the question. And it's telling me what A and B are. So I have A and B. I can just use it. And what do you want me to do? 10 weeks in, 15 weeks? No hassle, 15 weeks. I'm just going to use my calculator. I'm going to put all that into my calculator. I'm going to get 170 students. That was worth 10 marks. Okay. Once again, no reason why we can't set up this equation. Okay. 50 students, right? Now, going to put this equal to 50. What am I going to do with the 4? Huh? Divide. 50 divided by 4. Okay. Which is actually 12.5, isn't it? What do I need to do to both sides? What should I do to both sides? Log. What happens to at the front? 0.25 T, yeah? ln E, and ln E is 1. Now what do I do with the 0.25? Divide the other side by 0.25. And I think most of us got 10, did we? Yeah. For those of you that were resorting to trial and error, here's what I need to see from you to maybe elicit more attempt marks. Or for those of you just use the table function on your calculator. You need to show me that you subbed in 9. And then you need to show me that you subbed in 10. And that you basically said, look, I tried 2 of them. 9 was closer. 10 was a closer answer than 9. Who tried trial and error but didn't get any marks for it? You know, trial and error is you use the table function on your calculator. Oh, nobody, so. Speaking to nobody, so. Never mind. All right. Draw the graph. Okay. Here we go. Draw the graph. All right. Go to table function on your calculator and enter in the following. Go go to your table function and go what was it, 4 e to the 0.25 x, start at 0, end at 5, step of 1. 0, 4. Okay. What's the next point? 1, 5. Okay. 2 and 6.6. 3 and 8.5-ish. 4 and 10.8. So 4 and close to 11. And 5 and close to 14. All right, it's a curve. It's going to be hard for me to draw, but try and make a better effort. There you go. If you had to critique my answer, what should I fix? No, it's not straight. It's curve. I think I'd make that a bit lower. Try and come up that way. I think it wobbled a bit on me. Yeah. So, but it's meant to be a curve anyway. Yeah. Arguable. Close enough. All right, guys. Last question. Ready for this? Okay. What happens is we're 2 meters off the ground. Does that make sense here? We're 2 meters off the ground. Yeah? So, what height are you at the very top? At the very top, it's 44. The diameter is 44, isn't it? Would you all agree the diameter from here to here is 44? And what's 44 plus 2? 44 plus 2 is 46. 46 meters is your top height. What's your bottom height? 2. Is that right? 2? Okay. Now, your bottom height is 2. Where'd this go? So, what's the midway line? Is the midway line 24? Y equals 24? How do we get that? Add 46 and 2 together and divide by 2. So the midway line is actually a value of 24. Now we all know that the midway line is the middle of the Ferris wheel, right? Well, how high off the ground is that? How high is that off the ground? It's 22 for the radius and an extra 2 for the height. So it's a value of y equals 24. So y equals 24 is what's referred to as your midway line. Okay? Now, next thing. Write down the range of heights a person will experience during one revolution of the wheel. I think we already did this. What was it? 2 and 46. A minimum height of 2 and a maximum height of 46. Okay. Part 3. Write down the periods. Lads, what does it tell us about one revolution? Half a revolution takes place in 3 minutes. How do I know that? You start at the bottom. You start at the bottom, don't you? What happens then? You come all the way up, and that takes 3 minutes. double that time. What happens when you double that time? 6. Period equals 6. Now, while we're here, I might as well find out. The other way it's going to be cos cx. We have to find out what the c value is, don't we? We're going to do that now. What's the formula for periods? 2 pi over c. 2 pi over c is 6. So c equals what? And what is 2 pi over 6? Pi over 3. Okay. For a maths class, 2 students are deciding on the type of graph. It should be. Write down y. Which one should it be and why? What's the answer? Sine starts at the middle. Cos starts at the end. Do you start in the middle of the Ferris wheel or the end of the do you start at the middle of the Ferris wheel or the bottom? Start at the bottom, don't you? This emphasizes not a sine wave, therefore it must be a cos wave. All right. So how do we explain this for a couple of marks? Okay. So because the Ferris wheel doesn't start at 24 meters in the air, it cannot be sine wave which starts at the middle line. Therefore, it must be a cos wave. I agree with who? Who am I agreeing with? I agree with Joan. Okay. Everybody cool with that? Okay. Now, next question I'm going to ask you is, when you do a cos wave, a normal cos wave, okay, what do normal cos waves look like? Start above and they go below, up like that, right? And a cos wave starts at the middle, doesn't it? A sine wave, I mean. It does something like that. Sorry for the terrible drawing. So sine starts at the middle, so sine would be starting at y equals 24. Well, cos, a regular cos wave will be starting at 46. Do we get on? We don't get on in the Ferris wheel at the top of the Ferris wheel. We get in on the bottom. So it's not a positive cos wave. It must be a negative cos wave. So a negative cos wave, this green line is the minus version of the red one. So we know it's a -1 to begin. Is that right? But what's the A value? What's the A value? A value is the midline. What's the midline? 24. B is the amplitude. What's the amplitude? 22 up and 22 down. Is that okay with you guys? And that's cos. What's it cos CT? And what's C? Pi over 3 and then T. Just leave as T. You okay with that? Okay. You take out your calculator and you put it into radians because pi over 3 is radians, isn't it? So you go shift, whatever way you do it. I do it this way in this calculator. What to say was 24 minus cos? What? 22 cos, yeah. And was it pi over 3? Pi over 3, and I put the x beside the pi. You're right about that. And shift x. Now, do you see the step? What's the step going up by? Going up by 0.5s, but I suppose I should, just to be safe. Start at 0, end at 8, step of 0.5. Okay, here we go. 2, and basically the next one's close to 5, so 2. Next one's close to 5. After that, 1 and 13. 13 would be about here. Let's keep going. 24. It's a big jump. Then after that, 34. If anybody has these numbers in your calculator, let me know because it'll speed me up. 43. What did we say our maximum height was again? 46. I must be getting there now. 46 is 3 seconds in. Wait, I did that wrong. This one should have been there. It actually should be symmetrical on the way down now, shouldn't it? It's going to be symmetrical on the way down, so that makes my life easy. What happened to me? Okay, here we go. Should be easy now. That one. That one. That one. That one. And that one. Did I miss one? All right, sorry, thanks. No, please do tell me. That one. There, yeah. And then what's 5.5 is... Wait a minute, something's up. What? 513. So what one did I miss? Oh, I see. Oh, they're all one. They're all one to the... That's it there, yeah? And that's 513. Yeah, and that's 5.5. Thank you for that. And now 6 is the minimum. See, I knew that 6 had to be at the bottom for 6. So that's why I was wondering what happened to me. 7, 7.5, and 8. Now, do I get full marks for that? Wow. Secondary school, we joined the dots. Oh, that's awful because that's not great. All right, there we go. Handy enough? All right. Now, here's the question I'm interested in, all right? I couldn't give it to you because of H2 hadn't covered this yet, so I had to pull the question just there. Now, if a person rides the Ferris wheel, what height will they be at after 2 minutes? Right? Does it say use the graph? No. But the graph could give us a guide, couldn't it? I think it'd be easy enough. So what's this? What do you reckon? Somewhere in the 35 region? Well, we have a formula, don't we? What's the formula? Huh? What's the formula? The formula is 24 minus cos pi over 3 times the time, isn't it? And what did it tell us the time is? 2. Well, put that into your calculator and let me know. In fact, we already have it, don't we? It's up here. It's 35. Wasn't that good of a question in the end.